So we're going to spend a few minutes now just looking at careers information so you can be equipped to go and explore on your own. So the first site we're going to have a look at is Prospects, and then we'll move on to look at Careers Wales. So this is the screen that you get when you go to prospects.ac.uk. And if you go to that first tab, Jobs and Work Experience, you'll see that there's an option for job profiles. If you click on that, you can do two things. You can either browse by sector, so you can look into a sector that you're interested in. Let's say we want to have a little look at healthcare, for instance. You can look at roles that way. So biomedical engineer, for instance. I'll come back to this through a different route as well. So you can come here through, you can come to a role through this route, or if we just go back to Prospects, Jobs and Work Experience, Jobs Profiles, you can do it by browsing by letter. So if we go to A, because it's here, and we go to aerospace engineer, we can find out what you need to do now to follow in the footsteps of Ben, whose story you've seen on, or you will see on the videos. So if we go to aerospace engineering, you'll always see, no matter what role you look at, the name of the role is here. You'll find a first paragraph that gives you a quick overview of what that work is like. So in this case, a career in aerospace engineering will see you working with cutting edge technology and international companies. You'll get another paragraph or two that deepens that knowledge and talks about the context. So the sorts of things here: satellite missiles, aircraft, space, weapon systems. There'll be a video about somebody who can help you understand how to become an aerospace engineer. And then you'll see areas of specialism. This bit here about responsibilities is really helpful to read. If you look at this, think of it like a job description. It tells you exactly what sorts of things you're going to be doing on a daily basis or a weekly basis. Now you'll notice that all these subsections on this page are all highlighted on here as well. Any career you look at will have name of career and all of these sections, so you can dive into the appropriate one that you want to explore further. So a look at what the role entails. Then you can go down and say, okay, so how much am I going to earn doing this? And you can see that this is a guide. It will vary according to employers and how senior you are, but it's a decent starting point to help you understand. When you're thinking about work-life balance, then have a little look at this section. That will tell you what it's like to, in terms of demand on hours, where there's opportunity for self-employment, and what other things might be important to consider, where there might be weekend working, for instance. There's an on-call consultation basis here, potentially, if there's a repair needed or a disaster that you need to go and help sort out. Some case studies that are really interesting. It was before about the importance of exploring other people's stories to help you understand how they've gone from where you might be now to the place that you might be looking at going. And they're not that much further ahead of you. These guys will be 2 or 3, maybe 5 years into their career, which is not hugely far from where you are now, actually, particularly if you're at the higher stages of SERN. It'll tell you what to expect in terms of the daily activities back and forth, where you might work and so forth, and provide links to places that will be particularly helpful for you. So for instance, we know there aren't enough women working in STEM. Here's the Women's Engineering Society. You can go and explore more, or also WISE. More importantly, probably at this stage for you as well, or most importantly, is to look at what qualifications you need to be taking to be able to get into this sort of work, and what sort of standard of qualification you need to achieve. This varies on non-STEM subjects in particular. Some organisations are now not saying that they want a degree grade of any particular type, but a lot of STEM do still. So be aware and sensitive to that if there's an employer that you are particularly keen on joining because you've seen the work that they do. There's always a professional association or two, maybe several. So there's the Royal Aeronautical Society here that's particularly important for you to look at. They'll have lots of early stage career support and local meetings that you might want to go to. They've got guides that you can look at, and you'll find this in any career. There'll be this section here that talks about getting further information from the professional body, and also where that professional body accredits courses. If you want to work in that area, make sure the course you pick is accredited, or you may find you've got to do extra study to be able to get that accreditation, which will take you longer and cost. There's also a section on skills that talks about the skills that you need to be able to demonstrate, so you can start to think about how you're going to develop those now and moving forward over the next few years, and about the importance of work experience as well, and places where you can go and explore opportunities for work experience and internships. That's a period of unpaid work, typically an internship, but not always. Employers, who's employing in this area? That'll give you companies that you can now go and follow on TikTok and Facebook and LinkedIn. LinkedIn, particularly good place to go and explore and make connections with people. And then where can I find real job vacancies? Just to have a little look. There's some links there for you. They're always included in this section. And then you'll see live jobs that are being advertised. And then a section called professional development, which is about what you'll need to be doing once you've started working in the sector and how you develop your career through CPD, continuing professional development. It will also tell you what other areas you might move into easily and link to other associated organisations like IMechE there. What's always really helpful at the bottom of any job description is a set of alternative careers that you might want to explore that sort of, you might look at this and go, well, aerospace engineering, yeah, sort of, but there's something not quite right. Go and have a look at electronics engineering. That might be closer to what you're looking for, but not quite aware of what it is yet. So go exploring and see what it is you need to get into these careers. Remember that they'll go through exactly the same subheadings and you can find out information. Remember, they go through exactly the same headings, and you can do a little bit of comparing one job against another to understand what the differences are. So that's how to use prospects in terms of looking at jobs. And we went to get there, just as a recap, we went jobs and work experience, job profiles. Now, if you know that you want to work in a sector, but you don't know what the job is yet, then what you can do instead of going to job profiles is go into jobs. And that enables you to then have that sector-led approach. So if we look at engineering and manufacturing for a minute, for instance, it will give you an overview of the sector in the UK. This will be normally within 1 to 2 years of currency. Have a look at other sites as well. And there's a few that are flagged on the worksheet that you will have with this webinar. But it'll tell you more about working in that industry and the different types, in this case, of engineering and manufacturing. Have a look at that. It'll tell you about the big companies, for instance. I won't go through all of that now, but what is useful when we go back to engineering and manufacturing is also to have a look at how to become a whatever. What sort of jobs are around? So you can explore from a sector basis and particularly maybe from a gender perspective as well. So that's how you use prospects, jobs and work experience, jobs profile, and job sectors. Now, you may want to do something else as well, which is to look at careers advice and looking particularly at what can I do with my degree. This is, I've got a degree in aerospace engineering. What can I do with it? And it works it the other way around. It says, so you've got that degree. These are the careers that link directly with that degree. And then these are careers where having an aerospace engineering degree would be helpful. And then you can go exploring roles again. So I hope that's helpful to enable you to go and have a little bit of an explore in prospects and start gently to look at careers information. So let's have a little look at Careers Wales and the help and support they can offer when it comes to looking at jobs. Obviously, this is available bilingually as well. So if you prefer to work through the medium of Welsh, you can just click on the Cymraeg switch there and you get exactly the same information through the medium of Welsh. Let me just pop back into English. Okay, so having a look through here, you can look at job information. This will give you, similarly to the way that we saw in prospects, the opportunity to look at particular roles. So one of the roles that I'm just going to pull up because I'm here at the moment is artificial intelligence engineer, a new role. And one of the things that Careers Wales website at is telling you what the opportunities are in Wales and how much it's going to grow in the future. It's called labour market information. So if we look at this particular screen here, you'll see there's the description of what the role's about, and you can go in and read more about that through this link here. And you'll see it's very similar in terms of the sorts of guidance and information that it contains to the prospect site. Always good to compare the same role in different places because people explain things differently and you can get different learning from it. But coming back to artificial intelligence engineer as a description, you can see the salary there. What's really helpful is you can see this here that shows that there is going to be really high demand in the future in Wales for artificial intelligence engineers. And you can see here 220 job vacancies between now and 2027 as a considered estimate. Again, you can find out what you need to be doing in terms of degree. If there's any health consideration, you can pick that information up there. Any disability or whatever, you can get help and support and information here. And it talks about skills and the subjects that you need to be thinking about studying to be able to get down this career route. So that's how you use Career Wales for job information. So there's another section on the Careers Wales website that's really helpful for you to have a little look around as well, and that's the Plan Your Career section. And you'll see that it covers both options at 16, which is looking at where do you want to see yourself, talking a little bit about skills and interests, your natural strengths, the things that you find that energize you and things that you might want to learn out, and then some routes forward. Let's just go back and have a quick look at options at 18. And that talks about apprenticeships, university and so forth. I suspect a lot of you will be looking at going to university. There's a really helpful section here that tells you about how to apply, encourages you to go and visit universities through open days and so forth, and talks about other routes in and how to make sure you're choosing the right subject. So some useful sites there to have a little look at, or information there to have a little look at on the Careers Wales site. So the last page that I'm going to take you through now on the Careers Wales website is that covers years 8 and 9 subject options. And it's worth spending a little bit of time here. I mentioned earlier about following your subject and talked about Balzac, my experience of reading that book and how that informed my career choice. There's some help here to help you think about how you might discover yours as well, or just at least move it forward. So have a read of that. You'll find that all a helpful page to have a little look at. Really hope that looking at the careers information has given you a sense of control, a sense of knowing where to look, and also make sure that you talk to your teacher, your school careers advisor, to get expert help and to help build your confidence and what's called self-efficacy, your ability to move yourselves forward. So I hope that helps you understand where to go and find some information about different career options. And remember that you have careers advisors at school, you have teachers and others that you know who can help you make sense of those opportunities and help you choose what's right for you. And that's really what all this webinar is about, finding that passion to help move you forward.